Good morning. We are leaving the Mount Whitney Trailhead. Today we're going to be climbing Mount Russell via its east ridge along the North Fork of Lone Pine Creek, which all lies inside the Whitney Zone. So this morning I found a beautiful spot to camp right along the Whitney Portal Road, just maybe a half-mile off in some BLM land. Slept under the stars, the wind was perfect. Glad I came out to do that because I was kind of able to wake up pretty leisurely this morning. This is one of the first trips I've been documenting recently in the Sierra where I won't be backpacking. I'll just be doing a full day. We're along the main trail. It's gonna come around these little gullies, and this is the rock that splits up the main trail from the North Fork. So South Fork versus the North Fork. There's gonna be an obvious junction, the sign right along that rock face there, where we'll take a right and get away from the bulk of the crowds. So we've made it to our junction. It's right at this first creek crossing. We're gonna head up to the North Fork of Lone Pine Creek. We've just about made it to the E-ledges. We're gonna cross the creek bed one more time until we reach the other side of the slabs over here. Then we're going to ascend. I think the bulk of the exposure is right around here, and we're gonna eventually do a switchback, get to the tree line, and then we should be able to stay on that side for the remainder of the route until we reach the top of the next shelf. We've reached just around 10,200 feet, which means we're at the top of this shelf leading us to Lower Boy Scout Lake. And we've got some pretty sick views of Mount Whitney and its pinnacles. So we've reached the outlet of Lower Boy Scout Lake. We're gonna cross the creek and meander around the south side of the lake, eventually reaching this scree field and boulder field where we'll climb up to the next shelf and get to the bottom of some slabs before we reach Upper Boy Scout. I always love the feeling of climbing 1,500 feet, exposed granite, and then getting to something like this where it's just really nice and pleasant and low grade. You just kind of coast along the side of a lake, no bugs. Really nice out here right now. Makes me wish that I did have my overnight gear, but that's okay. I actually couldn't snag an overnight permit. So we've reached the 10,800 foot level after climbing about 2,500 feet roughly, and we've been traveling for 2.85 miles. We're at the bottom of the slabs, otherwise known as Clyde's Meadow. So we just need to continue kind of slowly crossing over until we reach the 11,300 foot mark, which will be Upper Boy Scout Lake. When you're traversing over the slabs, you almost immediately start crossing over the creek bed to the north side. You really want to stay out of these meadows over here. If you're doing any sort of bushwhacking, you've probably gone a little bit too far up on the south side of the creek bed. Dude, this is sick. Look at these sweet views of Alabama hills behind me. Looking rad. All these cascading falls over here. Barely see the pinnacles anymore because we got this ridge line cliff face in front of us. I've got views of what we're going to ascend. That part's gonna suck. Basically a massive scree field. Definitely why I brought both of these, to give you an idea of what we're getting up to in here. We really are just ascending this scree slope up to the bottom of this rock face, and at the very top we'll reach a plateau up to the Russell Carilion coal. I took a long break at the outlet of Upper Boy Scout Lake over here to filter water, eat a snack, and prepare for this ascent, because this one's a doozy. We're gonna climb, I'm gonna guess 1,500 feet to get there, and it is a long, dirty scree slope. Not fun. One step at a time, one foot in front of the other. We will slide back quite a bit, but we'll get there. Oh man, this is such a rugged portion of the route. It is just scree and sand. Oh, fuck. So I've been in my head for the last like 45 to an hour, and I'm really taking my time today up this monotonous, terrible scree slope. But then I turned around for 1 second and just saw that. What the? Woo! That is sick. Lord Almighty, this place is just, I'm so glad I'm here right now. Except I'm also miserable that I'm here right now because this place sucks for so many other reasons. We're almost to the Russell Carillon Col. It's been a long journey so far. It's gonna be a while before we hit Russell. A lot of people think that that's the peak there, the obvious pinnacle in the distance, but it's further past that. Definitely not getting tied up thinking that that's where I need to get. Whew! It's warm, I'm running out of snacks. Still have a good amount of water. All right, long way to go. I've reached 13,640 feet, and doesn't look like there's much scrambling for this section. Mostly just following the ridge out on the north aspect. Alright, so it looks like the route continues along the north side. I'm just coming a little closer on the ridge to kind of just take a look at everything. Cool. Totally freaking cool. Man. All right, taking a quick break. We are at 13,963 feet. I think we're gonna scramble on the right side here. We're gonna scramble up to the summit, and if I recall correctly, we kind of go around the north side before reaching the peak. Swinging over on this side. We've passed all of the like knife's edge kind of stuff this route is described as. Not a ton of exposure. There's a couple sections that you could probably meander around to find a safer route, but a lot of solid rock, a lot of handholds. I never felt like I was in any sort of danger. I knew that there was a pseudo peak, and I still thought that this was the summit. It's over there. I got a little bit further to go. It's not much. It's like 1/8 of a mile or something. Looks like it's all easy scrambling, but I just think that's funny that been here before. I knew there was a pseudo peak. Thought it was that one back there. And it turns out it's the one that I thought was the summit. Good times. Oh yeah. Oh, made it to the summit of Mount Russell solo in a day. Woo! All right, look at this place. Oh, gorgeous mountain. Looks like it's about 500 feet taller than this one. We're at 14,100, so 400 feet. I can't even breathe. As hard as this was, I'm really liking the fact that I'm doing it in a day hike. Like, I got a long way to go. It's gonna suck ass, but it's cool. It's gorgeous up here. Perfect weather. The clouds have come in. All right, so you've made it this far in the video. Thank you for watching so much. Consider subscribing, liking, leaving a comment, because if you like these videos, it helps me, it helps grow the channel so that I can do more of this. I'd love nothing more than to make more video trip reports for the Sierra Nevada and Southern California. All right, happy hiking.